Hey guys.
Ready?
Hey guys.
Oh my goodness.
Hey. Oh my god, I gotta stop laughing.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Seth, and this is the OpTic topic. Back again with Jordan and Ben. What's up, guys?
What's good?
Alright, so we apologize that we didn't have an episode last week. Ben, you want to explain to them why we didn't have an episode last week?
Sure. Basically, audio issues.
Audio.
I didn't know how to
issues.
select the actual mic on OBS, so yeah.
So
I
thanks,
fucked
Ben.
up. Yeah.
We appreciate that.
We recorded
Can I
the
just say
entire-
though, I predicted OpTic Envious Cloud9 Epsilon.
But
But you just can't hear it.
We have no proof.
You just can't hear it. I have video footage, but no audio.
Yeah, Seth and I did not. We
Yeah.
weren't even close. I put envy at the bottom, so.
So did I.
Oh my god.
I mentioned that they could come back, but I just didn't think they would this episode. But getting into it, our agenda for today, we're going to be talking about Halo with their previous event. We're going to be talking about COD in the green group, and then we're going to get into some CSGO stuff with the team. So, starting off, Halo. They actually didn't win, which I mentioned. I'm not sure if it was the last episode we actually put out or the last episode that didn't get released, but I mentioned how Halo, when we're winning all the time, it almost gets a little stale. And if you look at the bracket,
Oh my god! Check Twitter. Check fucking Twitter.
it's very good. Is it League of Legends?
No, OpTic is moving to Dallas.
Nuh-uh. Dude, I swear if you're messing with me.
This live news coming in, boys. Look at this.
What the
Dallas
hell?
Chamber and Rogers Healy Real Estate. This is live, guys. 2 minutes ago.
It is 2 minutes ago. Wow. Who said that our podcast isn't that good? I mean, live updates. We are the best. What can we say? So,
Yeah, but-
like, comment, and subscribe.
Wow, what the hell?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. Jeez, I have nothing written down for this, but
All right, we'll come back to that.
oh my god.
We'll come back to that.
That is.
Let's continue
That's huge.
with Halo, and we can come back to that.
Oh my god, because we're gonna talk about like how content is stale. Anyway, yeah. Halo. So you can see how the bracket goes. Like I also want to mention, like in Halo, you can see the levels of the competition and how they work because I have the bracket up here. I'm just gonna go through it real quick, and of course it is closed. But if you look at the teams, like OpTic went like 4-0 against every team until they got to Splice.
Even Envy, we beat them 3-0 twice.
And yeah, and if you look at like Liquid's run until they got to, I forget who they played first, but they went undefeated till the team that they'd eventually lose to. And like the lower teams are losing, yeah, but like the top like 3 or 4 teams just do well against like every team. It just goes down. And you can see how like stacked the competition is on top, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
I want to talk a bit about the tournament. Like, I think there isn't much to say before we played Splice because we pretty much demolished everyone. It wasn't even really close. But the thing about Splice that was interesting is it seemed like they outpaced us. Splice is a really good team. They play well, but what makes them so good is they're very aggressive and they're very good at playing at a fast pace. And that's just kind of what they did. OpTic wasn't playing on top of their game. They made some mistakes. They slipped up, and it cost them. But during both series, they definitely struggled. The second one, I definitely thought there was definitely potential for OpTic to have won it. The first one, we just weren't playing. It's like we didn't even show up. But the second one, I definitely thought there was hope. So I think Splice will definitely be there the whole rest of the seasons, and they'll definitely be a big competitor. It'll be interesting to see how we can deal with that. I mean, we are still probably the best, at least top 2 in the world, and over the past 2 years, we've been the number 1 team. So it'll be interesting to see how they can adjust to that and see if they can figure out a way to counter Splice in their play style. A big thing also was that Royal 1, is it? Royal 2? I don't remember which one's the coach. I think it's Royal 1. Wasn't at the event again because he's still doing his studies. So we had a fill-in coach again. I don't know how much that affected. Could have he helped out a bit more? Maybe. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the same players playing each other. So,
I mean, even with that, you could see how they 3-0'd. Like I have it up now. They 3-0'd all the way up to Splice, and so even without the coach, you think they'd still do well, and they definitely did. But like what you said, like Splice is going to be up there now. I'm actually kind of excited because I talked about how it was kind of getting stale. Like when it comes to like the other teams that we're going to win. But now I'm actually kind of excited because not only did we lose, we lost 2 best of 7s.
4. Yeah, 7.
Best of 4. We lost 2 best of 7s, which means they're definitely competitors, even with our coach. So I'm actually kind of excited in the future to see that rivalry. Even though it's competition, it's better to have some competition for me personally than just being expected to win every event. Unlike COD and Champs when we're expected to win and we don't. Not that bad.
For sure.
I don't want it that bad, but kind of excited about that. But yeah, just like I was saying, we 3-0'd them up until there, and then you look at Splice 3-0'd everyone until Team Liquid. They won 3-2, but Liquid also did well up until Splice, and then it went like Liquid Envy, and Envy did really well until there too. So like you can just see how stacked it is with those like 4 or 5 teams. So I'm really excited in the future to see how these couple teams will play against each other in future events, because it was getting kind of stale for me, like I said. So I'm really actually excited. Even though we lost, I'm actually kind of excited for the future, if that makes sense.
For sure.
But yeah, so I don't know when the next event is off the top of my head. I'm not sure if it's announced. What was it?
Not sure either.
What was it? I think it's London is the next one.
Which event's this?
HCS London. Yeah, it's right there. The 15th through the 17th. I'm not sure if that's the next one or if that's only the next HCS. I'm not sure if there's one between there, but I know there is going to be an event in September. That's the next event that I know.
Wait, is that the 15th of September?
The 15th of September to the 17th of September.
I might try and go down to that if it's in London, because I don't support Halo. Wait, 15th to what?
17th.
Oh no, that's August. Yeah, sweet. I might try and go down to that one then. Hey.
Awesome. But yeah, look forward to that. We don't have any reason to worry. I know a lot of people, like, whenever a team that's doing really well doesn't win an event, team changes. No, that's not going to happen. This team has been dominant since before they were even OpTic, so there's no reason for them to even worry.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Just gotta look forward to the future and what's going to come with future events. And I definitely think we're gonna bounce back, especially with our coach there, and he definitely makes a difference. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of all we have to say for the Halo topic, at least. I think it'll just be interesting to see how they bounce back. So I'll definitely be watching scrims personally. Try and see if they mix up their play style or not. I know they aren't going to be happy with that. They hate losing. They definitely, you can see like the banter that they throw out on Twitter after it, but they still, as a team, definitely hate Twitter. They just try and keep a light heart when they lose. So it'll be interesting to see how hard they work and see if they can make a change, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I guess it's time to move on then, unless there's any other closing thoughts. But COD. So good news. They went 6-0. I could have sworn I remember seeing an update from the Score Esports that said they lost to Cloud9, because whenever it's the COD team, I'm always ending up working whenever they're playing. But they went 6-0, which is good. But last time they went undefeated in groups, they ended up dropping to E6 later on. So it doesn't mean that that we have an easy road ahead of us by any means. But we predicted this last episode that didn't come up, that we thought they were going to get 6-0, maybe like a loss here or there. And Ben was actually the closest one with Envy in second place. Me and Jordan weren't sure of which Envy was going to be here, and we didn't think they were back yet. So we thought they were going to come last again with either C9 or Epsilon. We leaned more to C9 coming in second.
Can I just say that quickly? I watched the Hot Mic. I don't usually watch it because just not how long it is, but just I I seem to have lost an interest in Call of Duty esports over the past few years and stuff, but no months, sorry, with CS like taking over. But I thought, you know what, I want to get back into it, with Champs coming up and World War II, because I just feel Infinite Warfare's not really been a great COD. Just to watch, spectator-wise, I don't feel it's been good. But I was watching the hot mic the other day, and Envious did seem like more like into it and stuff. And I don't know what they usually like on that kind of thing, but I just felt they were giving out like a positive vibe almost. And it's interesting to see them go into it.
I think
they only lost to us, so
Yeah, exactly.
I think they do very well when they're winning, and the moment they start losing, it definitely goes downhill pretty quickly, mostly because of Slasher, in my opinion. Slasher is kind of, this may be a bit harsh to say, but he is kind of a toxic player, and he gets tilted very, very easily and goes at his teammates a lot. Definitely him and John have clashed a lot, and you've seen it in the past. You saw it again at the event. You saw him yell at John several times. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to translate that. If they don't have a good performance in playoffs and they go at like 7th, 8th again, I definitely think...
That's it for them. No chance
Yeah,
for them.
I definitely think that they're not going to be able to do pretty much anything at Champs.
Yeah. How does it work? Because I know like the third place team, they're not guaranteed for Champs yet, right? In the groups?
No, everyone in the groups were guaranteed with Champs.
I thought it was like 4th, or maybe that was the last one, but we got...
Yeah, that was the last one.
Okay, then never mind, I was going to say C9, but okay, that's awesome. But
yeah,
with us being the last group, we have the playoff bracket set up. So the first round is going to be FaZe Envy, LG Splice, United E6, and OpTic Fnatic. So I definitely think...
Wait, before we go on to the playoffs, I think we should talk just a bit more about the each map and how we played on those game types.
Okay.
I think if we go through who we played, like we started off playing Cloud9, we 3-0'd them, but we were very shaky in both the hardpoint and the S&Ds and uplink weren't as close, but we definitely saw some shakiness in those game modes. Then we played Team Envious and went to a map 5, and our hardpoints in that matchup were horrendous. We lost both hardpoints, and they just were trash. And then we had Cloud9 again. No, Epsilon, sorry. Epsilon. We 3-0'd them comfortably. Epsilon looked trash all weekend. I mean, they didn't even look like they were trying. Then we played Cloud9 again, lost a hardpoint, the first map, and then continued on and 3-0'd them. And then we played Epsilon again, 3-0'd them comfortably. And then played Team Envious again. And it was interesting to see this time. We ruined their flawless record because they hadn't lost a hardpoint yet, and we 3-0'd them. And so that was pretty good to see us kind of take in what we had done through the weekend and how we had played Envious before, and like make changes to counteract how we played. And if you look, we had 100% success in S&D and uplink. So it just shows how strong those game modes are, but we had a very, very weak hardpoint. I think we won 66% of our, or 60, something like that, of our hardpoints. So when you have the other two game modes, you're winning every single one, and then you're losing so much in hardpoints. It's kind of crazy. I think a lot of it came down to slaying, as well as our rotations looked very, very shaky. We would rotate late, or we'd like rotate and not have a good setup immediately, and we get broken pretty quickly. So I think if we can fix our hardpoint going into stage 2 playoffs and champs, we actually do have a solid chance at winning. Because if we can win both S&Ds and the uplink, that means we're probably going to a game 5. And then if we can also win our hardpoints, that just shows how strong this roster is. So I think that'll be interesting to see.
I love the change in our like map rotations. You know, when the jetpacking phase first came, it was the exact opposite. You know, if we went to game 5, it was usually because we won the hard points, and and we lost S&Ds, and it would come down like the uplink or the last like S&D or whatnot. And people used to say, like, when you're playing against OpTic Gaming, this is even when Nate was on the team, they were like, you're pretty much starting down off 0-1 because of the hard point. And now I just like how you can see the coordination between them, where it's just not slight, where they're actually working together, and now the objective game modes, more objective game modes, they're doing really well. I also like to mention that the one game I'm pretty sure it was Epsilon, we started off down in uplink, and then we actually came back against them and ended up winning in overtime. They won uplink, and they almost even won in overtime. So that was that was a little bit, but that was the first match, and we moved on. But yeah, like it's Epsilon, so like you could say that why we're showing against Epsilon, but it was only one map, and we still only lost 3 maps. But like you said, like our maps are looking pretty good, our game modes are looking pretty good, and with these next 2 events, if we can like just improve on our hard points, we definitely have some promising showings coming up.
And the interesting thing is, we still went 6-0, and Formal had a very, very quiet first day, and still kind of alright days 2s and 3s. His first day, he had a 1.02 KD, I believe, and Scump was leading with like a 1.3 something.
Formal used to be the person that would have the highest KD before.
Yeah, exactly. And then both Karma and Crimsix were negative, I believe, if I remember that correctly. Karma had a very, very bad KD at the start. He had like a 0.84 or something like that, and then Crimsix like a 0.98 or something like that. So it was amazing we could still start off 2-0 when we had one of our star players in Formal doing mediocre for his standards, and then Karma did say he was sick, so that's kind of understandable. He was sick on day 1, he mentioned that, and he improved after that, so it wasn't surprising. Then Crim, he stepped it up, Formal stepped it up, and then we ended up 3-0ing or 3-1ing every single match from then. So how much did that play into it? Probably a lot. If Formal turns up on that first day, we probably 3-0 even Envy. So I think that's also an important thing to look at, is that we did have a very slow start and still didn't drop a map.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait until Boots on the Ground comes back. I'm excited to see Karma on Boots on the Ground again, because although he still does well in like the Jetpack games, I mean, you have to do well on a team like at this caliber that still wins. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Like him on Boots on the Ground was just something else. And like there's some players like Scump that's good no matter what type of game.
Yeah, Scump is just crazy.
Yeah, but
that's another thing. Like, everyone puts their expectations on Formal to be the best, but if you look at the past couple events, it's not really been Formal, or at least not only Formal. Scump has consistently almost everything single day played out of his mind. Like that, maybe one map this weekend did I see Scump play mediocre. I didn't see him have a bad map. He is just so consistent. Once he plays a game a lot, he becomes one of the most consistent players in that game. If you look at Champs last year, the reason we lost was because of Karma and Crimsix, which is harsh to say, but they did have off events. Everyone has off events. But Scump and Formal both played out of their minds that event. So you can always expect at least one of them to show up, and pretty much always have Scump show up. So
I think it's crazy. I think like if you pick any like sport or any game, like the fact that Scump is so good for so long, like and he's so good, you know, like you have players that like are good for a while and then they like kind of sizzle out, and they're still up there but they're not like great. Like Scump, like when it comes to jetpacks, like he was like MVP like every single event and like every league in Advanced Warfare, and like before that, like in the Boots on the Ground games, like he was always doing well. I think it's insane. Like if there's a Hall of Fame, like didn't he win like best like console player of the year or Call of Duty player of the year last year or something like that?
Yeah, that was last year.
Best console player last year at the Esports Industry Awards, and they're having them this year again, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't think he'll get that award again, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Definitely. But yeah, I want to move on to the playoff bracket now.
Yep, for sure.
So yeah, we go up against Fnatic first round, which I'm pretty confident that we should come out on top of that. But looking at the next match, on the same side of the bracket, we have E United versus E6, which means we're going to be playing one of them if we beat Fnatic, which is really interesting because E United, obviously, throughout this year, they've been a good team, and with the whole Clayster thing going on, and then also we had just gotten knocked out by E6 last event. So either way, at the second round of the upper bracket, we're gonna have a really intense match. And just like Halo, I'm like really excited for the future because now like we have a couple teams that you really gotta look out for. Then even if you look at the other side of the bracket, you have FaZe, Envy, LG, and Splice.
Yeah.
I'm just like really excited, but that's gonna be like our first hurdle, and then I expect, I don't know, I'm thinking either FaZe or LG to come up against us after that if we get by E6/E United.
Do you want to go through each game?
Yeah, like so. First one, Fnatic. I think we win 3-1.
I think we win 3-0.
I was gonna say 3-0, but I think Fnatic probably is gonna have something planned, like on a hard point or a certain map. So, and
I don't think they stand a chance.
OpTic also always starts slow on day one.
I agree, but the reason I don't think they have a chance is because our weakest game mode is our hard point, and usually Fnatic are taking S&Ds off of teams, and we just showed how we have one of the strongest S&Ds in the game right now. We went flawless on the weekend. So I think that's just my opinion. I could understand people thinking maybe they take off an S&D, but I think it'll be a swift 3-0 because if we take the first hard point and the second S&D, we've been solid in uplink as well. So I think it all comes down to that first hard point.
That's an excellent point. That's a really good point. Yeah. But then after.
What do you think, Ben? Any opinions?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to look into this move. Did you say Fnatic was the first team?
Fnatic versus OpTic for the first game.
Yeah, I thought it was. I think we should take it. I think we're going to take it 3-1 though. They might take one map off us. I don't know which map, but I reckon... I just have a feeling. Gut feeling.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay, so you two say 3-1, and I say 3-0. Which maps do you think they're going to take?
I don't know, because, like I knew that in the back of my mind, but, like, after you brought up the point, like, you're definitely right. Like, you convinced me. I think it's going to be a 3-0 this one.
I also convinced you last week to put Epsilon in second, so...
Did you?
I mean...
Do we have proof of that?
Yeah.
Do you have proof of that?
Well... You said Cloud9 in second, and I said I think Epsilon will edge them out. But either way, both of them didn't, so...
I don't know. I think I said Envy second, but... Okay.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so if they take a 3-1... I'm going to say S&D if they take a 3-1. I don't think they're taking a hard point off of us.
I think that's probably the one that I would put if they were to, but I still put my money on them not. Right, so the next game.
E United or E6.
Okay, I want E6 so badly to come out of this because I do not want to play E United, but I 100% think E United will take it. I think their hardpoint is solid. Their uplink is very solid as well. I think their S&D is kind of hit or miss, but so is E6's. So I think they should take that. I'm going to say 3-2. I think E United will take it 3-2 because I don't think Clayster is going to have as dominant of a performance as he did in his first week. I mean, I don't think you can do that every single week just based off of the fire that's lit inside of you, which I know sounds weird, but Clayster is a good player, but he's not been the best. And I don't think that's just going to change just because he changed rosters, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think he won't have as good. I still think he's going to play great, but I don't think he's going to have the top KD out of the event.
Now, I haven't seen much from United since Clayster. I may have seen like a map or two. How have they been doing? Have you seen any like scrims or any matches with them?
I watched most of their matches. They played solidly. They dropped, was it one match? And I don't remember how they lost it, but they looked solid throughout the whole weekend, basically. I was impressed by them. I thought they looked a lot better than FaZe looked in their week. United didn't really look shaky besides the one series that they lost. So I think they'll show up. Do I think it's a better United than with Gunless? Not necessarily. I mean, I'd still have to see them play the likes of like OpTic, Luminosity, some of them top teams. But I think there's a lot of potential in that team.
Yeah, I'm hoping for personally get E6 regardless. Just because I know Clayster The whole throw me to the wolf pack, I'll come leading the, or to the wolves, I'll come
Throw
leading
me
the
to
pack.
the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna say for this one. He probably already like scripted it out like a good, clever saying. But I'm afraid of what he's gonna do with this team. So
Mhm.
I'm afraid of that. So I'm hoping we get E6. If we do,
For sure.
I'm scared to be honest. But I think OpTic is gonna be more pissed that they lost because, as you know, like Krim said it and Scum said it too, they hate losing more than like winning. And
Yep.
so I think they're gonna have E6's number, and I think they're gonna stomp them out. I still think it's gonna be close. Probably like I'm gonna say like a 3-1, but like a close map that could have gone like 3-2 like last map.
For sure.
I think it's gonna be like we might win, but not as the games are gonna be a little bit closer if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Ben.
Luminosity Splice. Oh, do you want to ask Ben?
Ben,
What Ben thinks?
what do you think?
I hope we play Clayster and absolutely destroy him.
You don't like Clayster?
No, like
No, I don't
from
like
what I've
Clayster
seen,
either.
I joined a bit late to like Clayster, if you know what I mean. I joined just at Christmas in AW after we picked up Crim 6 and Formal. They'd been in the team, they'd been dominating, and I kind of saw from Nadestruck's YouTube. I was like, oh damn, they actually play competitive COD. I'll watch it. So I missed out on the nice Clayster, if you know what I mean. And so I've just seen
there was
the
never a nice
Clayster who's a
there was never a nice
Yeah.
Clayster.
no, I saw a Clayster that was constantly chatting shit to OpTic, and I thought, yo, this guy's an absolute idiot. So
Yeah, I'm
You
not
know-
a fan of Clayster either.
Dude, even when he was on OpTic.
I think he talks a lot more than he
yeah,
should.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough. That's anyway.
Anyway, yeah. So who do
Moving on.
you think is going to be on? If we get to round 4, who do you think is going to be there against us in the upper bracket?
Wait. Out of the two matches, just quickly say who do you think, Luminosity or Splice?
Oh, against that, Luminosity.
Yeah, me too. I'm saying 3-1.
I think Splice.
You think Splice? I don't
Yeah.
think
You're
Splice
delusional.
has a chance. I honestly don't even think they have a chance. After
Well,
how they played at
the-
stage 2
They're the winners, though.
groups. Yeah, but they played like trash in the stage 2 groups, and they lost to them at Anaheim.
You've
So,
changed. You've changed from your British ways, I see.
I can support them, but I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, dude, I was so hard.
Splice is easily my favorite European team, though. I love Ban so much. He's one of the funniest guys. I love him so much. But I don't think they're gonna win. If they do, then I'll be happy to be wrong, because I don't mind LG either, to be honest. But I really like Splice. They're my second favorite team. So
Okay.
Fair enough.
Envy or Phase?
Envy 3-2.
Envy.
Oh, you're afraid to go against Envy again?
No, I just think they're a better team than FaZe.
Yeah, again, I don't know how it's going to be. I haven't seen too much of FaZe with their change. I think I watched one match from them, and they did all right. I don't know. I think it's going to... I don't know. I'm just going to say FaZe to be different.
Fair enough.
No, I have to pick Envy because they did really... I feel like they did really well.
Make your mind up.
I mean, FaZe did too. They came top of their group, so.
I'm going Envy.
All
I'm
right.
going Envy.
Now, in the semis, okay, OpTic and E United, if that is the game.
OpTic.
Scores and predictions. I say OpTic 3-1. I think we lose the first hard point, win S&D, and then uplink, and then we win the hard point as well.
I think it's going to go game 5. We're going to lose the first hard point. I think it's going to go 1-1-2-2 all the way to the end, and then we're going to win
Fair
the
enough.
S&D. I think we're going to lose the uplink.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. I think no one's going to see
I
it.
think we're too strong on uplink. We didn't
You
drop an
think,
uplink.
right? Dude, you can never get a bracket right if you predict it to be 100% like scientifical.
That's true.
So
That is true.
I'm calling going to take the uplink.
I rate that. I like that. What about you, Ben?
3-2 OpTic.
What maps?
All right, so I'm saying 3-1, and you're both saying 3-2 OpTic.
All right.
Okay.
So then OpTic versus. Oh well, no.
Nope.
Envy Splice and NVLG for
MV
Jordan.
LG. Yeah. LG easy, not even a question. 3-1. I think they lose the uplink, but they take the hard point, S&D, and then the other hard point.
What's that? They lose the uplink.
Yeah, I think they lose the uplink.
I don't know the maps, but I think Luminosity too. Yeah, I think it's gonna be closer than people think. I think it might be like the other match.
Who's it between?
For you, Splice and Envy.
I'd say Splice.
Of course
Yeah.
you will.
Fair enough.
And OpTic are gonna beat Splice in the finals 3-2.
I'd rather play Splice in the finals than who I have in the finals, but
Round 11.
And then the losers bracket, just skip that. We're gonna obviously beat them 3-0.
yeah. So for us, it would be OpTic versus Luminosity, and I think Luminosity is gonna win.
I think Luminosity's gonna win.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win 3-1. We win the S&D, but they win all the respawns.
All the respawns,
I
even
honestly-
uplink.
I honestly don't think we stand a chance against LG if we play them.
I don't think we're
Not in
winning-
respawns at least.
Yeah, I don't think we're winning the hard points. I think it's going.
If it goes to map 5, we win.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we lose.
Yeah, same thing. I think it's going to be game 5 OpTic. I think it's going to go they win both hard points. We win the S&Ds and the uplink.
Fair enough. And then for your finals, Ben, you said Splice versus OpTic. You think OpTic takes it? What's the scoreline again?
Yeah. 3-2.
3-2.
Round
Okay.
11, 1-on-1, as close as we can get.
Let's hope we get common at round 11, 1v1. The 1v1 god.
So then, who would it be for us? OpTic and Luminosity. Yeah, we already did that. Never mind. All right. Then we're not gonna do the losers bracket and stuff. That's too far into it.
Definitely not. That's too complicated and annoying.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. This is probably the most hype I've been for a COD event in the last year. So I'm excited for that. Then Champs coming up not too far after. So
I'm gonna be watching both of them because sadly I couldn't watch Green Group because I was at the major.
Gonna watch Botha.
sadly.
Both.
Both of these nuts.
Oh my god, memes never get old. Alright, so I think we've been on COD a decent amount. So let's move over to
Definitely.
to CSGO. So we have to re-talk about the qualifier even though the major is already over. Ben,
Why?
thank you once again. We won't go get too much into it since it's kind of out of topic. But we did play 3 games and we lost all 3. It was that event where we lost the first 3. But this event, this major, even the qualifier, the whole thing was one of the strangest events I've seen. But regardless of that, the 3 teams we played, I feel like we should be in. I mean, who was it? Penta that we played first round.
Penta.
Yeah.
Shout to HS, my boys. Saw you in the airport. Saw you in the hotel. Woo.
Yeah, so Penta showed up a lot, but even if we were to lose them, we should have been able to beat Vega and Renegades, and we just didn't. And it really shows that this 5th player that's been going on for what is it now, 7 months, 6 months, is really getting to us. And I don't even know what to say because I feel like we're never gonna get back because there's no people in NA. No one wants to come to NA, and it's just this.
FNX.
I don't see that happening. Well, I mean, I guess.
Right. I've just posted the link there. Immortals open to offers for FNX.
Yeah.
Boys, just email that email right now. Easy. He'll come to Dallas with
I was
us.
gonna say it's
He'll meet
Dallas.
us
It's a
there.
little bit closer.
Dude,
meet us there.
actually though, I would be down.
We don't need an in-game leader. We got Tarek.
Also, people have been rumoring Alu.
They were saying
For
that
Hayes
months
to-
ago.
No, Alu is leaving. Guardian's gonna take his spot in phase.
Exactly.
Guardian and Seized are leaving, but only Guardian's gonna get a team straight away that we know of.
Yeah. That we know of. When will OpTic make the announcement? I think I have a gut feeling they're gonna keep Hayes, but I really don't want them.
They say we've got a 5th already, so we might have a 5th, but that we don't know about. And before anyone says, what about the Airbag Power guys? No, we have a chance to get in the major. They don't.
Yeah,
Majors are huge.
I was actually really excited when I first heard it, but then I saw that something from the Score Esports saying that Turner is going to not they're going to continue with the ban, and other event organizers are continuing with that too. And I got really excited for a little bit, and then I'm like, God, because like the problem is there aren't many people, and then if these players are unbanned, not all of them washed up. You saw Brax Swag play at CS Summit, and he still did really well. It was amazing how well he did.
He is godly, and I can't wait them to see them all play. To be honest.
Yeah, but that would in
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
that would put more good players in the NA pool. That not only us but to help the NA scene grow.
Yeah, because that team's basically now going to become a let me try and think of a team. It's basically going to be the new NA of NA. So you know how we take European players and make them look amazing, so European players will go back and get a good team. For example, Simple. Well, that team's going to be the NA of NA, in the fact they're going to get players, make them look amazing, then any players are going to want them on their team. Yeah, but to go to a major. Right. If you get what I mean, do you understand? We're gonna be that's gonna be a proving ground for NA players now.
So if I understand this straight,
that makes sense.
These players can go to the next major then.
No, they can't.
I thought
nope.
I thought they would do that, but not like the other events.
The banned from all majors. Only ESL events that are allowed to.
Oh, it was ESL. Okay, I thought it was Valve for some reason. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe not.
That's why I was confused.
I
was reading it wrong then. I saw it this morning.
Basically, it's a shitty unban because they're not unbanned for anything. Basically, they're unbanned from ESL 1 Cologne if it doesn't become a major.
New York is coming up.
I mean, I'm sure they're glad that they can at least play. Like, I'm sure they'd rather that than nothing and still being completely banned.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
it is a step, but there is still #free Brax. You know what I mean? It's still a thing. But I wouldn't mind FNX. Apparently, they've already got a 5th. That's what Tarek said. But
that 5th may be hazed.
Hazed, I don't think it is.
I don't want it to be, but for some reason, I have a feeling it is.
Hazed is such a nice guy.
No, I feel like since we already have Hazed, they would have announced it already.
Well,
it's
you
down
would
to
think,
the players to announce.
But exactly, that's the thing. I feel like if it was a team change, they would announce it in Vision and not the players announce it.
No, Hex has already said it's down to the players to announce. Which is kind of.
Well, does that the players really choose to announce it in Vision? And they're like, yeah, we want to announce it in Vision.
Yeah, that might happen. To be honest.
If there's ever a Vision ever again.
Okay.
It's been 3 weeks since the last Vision.
Okay, real quick. Okay. People are getting pissed at Hitch. But like honestly, the 1 week he's like, there's not much to talk about this week, so I'm not gonna make
not this week, but they still haven't done the CS event.
I know, but like, just give me a second. So one thing is with the new schedule, like something that happens that weekend when they release it, they weren't gonna show. It would be the next week because that was like their new schedule. So like 1 week would be that. Then the next week, like it might be like there's not too much to talk about, and instead of giving a bunch of stale content, like mediocre content, to the point where you're not even looking forward to it anymore. Like, do you guys remember Smooth Competition? At first, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, but then it kept getting really stale, really quick because it was just mediocre, and they threw it in there. But if they were, because they had put it up nonstop, but if they put more like editing into it and had like time to work on it more, it could have been a very entertaining series. But they were forced to force feed us content, and I'd rather take the quality over the quantity every week. And I know it sucks, but I mean that's the thing. It's not a television thing. It's not saying every week that this is happening. It's something where it's like when there's something to be talked about, they could put it up. And I'd rather have that than, like I said, force feeding us stale content.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Sorry,
Fair enough.
I get a little upset when people are like that. Like, you can have your opinion, but at least take into account that perspective that it might be better this way. But everyone has their opinion, and I know it sucks because like you're a fan, and you're like, I want Vision's a good thing. Everyone likes it. You should be putting more resources into it. And now they have Create helping Hitch and whatnot, and so there should be the ability to get more content and quicker. But I don't know. I don't mind. I'd rather them take more time on it personally.
Yeah, I don't really care either. I think as long as they do a good job when they do come out, I'm okay with it.
Exactly. That's my opinion. But I totally understand everyone else's opinions that say, hey, like, this is something that we want, and you're, like, not giving to us, and then, especially when, like, smooth competition, like, the bad version was there, they're like, you missed this, but not this, so I understand that as well. But while we're on to off-topic esports stuff, do we want to talk about this move that we just found out that happened?
They're actually moving close to me. I live really close to Dallas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I live like 30 minutes to an hour from Dallas. So
Ben, you said you were doing some research on this while we were talking?
Yeah, I've had a look at it basically, and let's have a look. So I posted a few things in chat. So Googling companies. So they're going to be moving the third quarter, which means it's going to be between the 1st of July, so right now, to the 3rd of September. No, 30th of September. 92-day period. We're already 27 days into it, so next 65 days are going to be moved. I've been looking at one of the companies, and if you have a look at rogershealy.com/featured, you can see some of the houses. And basically, it looks insane. So I don't know if they're going to be moving to office blocks or a big mansion, but, you know.
I'm assuming they're going to have houses and then an office that they go to.
It could well be, to be honest, yeah.
Because I think a house is a bad idea. I think
in
esports they've proven that. I think they're looking for more of like a team envious strat. Have you seen what they've done? Like, they have the office that you go to, but then you live independently.
I just thought, actually, when does the play break end for CS?
I have no idea.
It's throughout August, isn't it?
I don't know.
So I reckon it'll be the end of August, start of September. Then that way they can get all the players moved from the house. All of Mixwell and Adria moved into the new house or office, or you know what I mean.
Houses with an office, yeah.
This is actually really actually really big, especially when people are saying like, what's going on with the house? Like, this person should leave the house, and everyone is moving out of the house. This is actually a really big step in the OpTic brand, and like moving away from like their roots and whatnot. But I think this is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if is like Hex moving too? Or is it just going to be like?
I presume so. Yeah.
He said he's always wanted to live in Texas anyway. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's really awesome. So how far away is that from you, Jordan?
Like an hour, maybe. Roughly around there.
Gonna go throw eggs at the house.
Go meet up with them and be like, hey, you want to come on a podcast?
Live interviews. Or stalk around like the nearest Chipotle. And be like,
yeah, just camp out at Chipotle's. Be sitting in the bushes and be like, oh, what are the odds?
But yeah, that's crazy. I'm sure within the next couple, maybe hours today, by tomorrow, we might even have more information on it. But like,
yeah, Hex didn't upload a vlog this morning, did he? So maybe he was waiting for that.
Maybe next Vision.
Oh, no, he did.
Maybe that's why Vision didn't come out today. Maybe they're getting some of this stuff into it.
Woo!
Hey, look.
All the hype, and we don't know, but something.
Okay, real quick, I saw something on Twitter because I think in the next might be like two or 3 days now. Because the other day I saw something with the League of Legends franchising application deadlines.
That's what I was going to bring up as well. Also, the Overwatch one, there is not yet a franchise in Dallas. So, you know.
Because that's how Overwatch works. Oh, yeah,
and they're looking to get a franchise in Dallas. With the meetings the meetings with the meetings with the Dallas Texans, was it? As well.
Oh my goodness.
Whose stadium did they get invited to for the opening game? Was it the Dallas Texans? So OpTic
Yeah, it was.
Texans.
Was it the Rangers?
Overwatch
No, wasn't it the
confirmed.
Rangers?
I don't know. One of them. Dallas, Texas. What am I on about?
Well,
Yeah, Dallas, Texans.
If it was Dallas, was it a baseball team?
Hang on. When researching one of the companies as well, I saw.
If
one
it
of
was
them
baseball, it was
actually-
the Rangers.
Who does that guy Giovanni Soto play for?
We'll find out. He plays for the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, my bad.
the wrong. That's where they are now.
So,
Yeah. No, but whichever the football team is, I think we could be looking at
The Cowboys.
doing business with them.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
I
the
hate
Overwatch-
Cowboys.
The league thing's 20 million. So
Yeah.
if they wanna.
Yeah. So
that's
wanna
a
get on.
huge investment for OpTic,
so
because
so real quick. Go ahead.
that would be one of the first, in my opinion, like, I think we have the best teams in some smaller esports, and then we obviously have CSGO, right?
Yeah.
And I think we definitely need to grow and expand into bigger esports, because we're in one of the 4 tier 1 esports, and I'm sure Overwatch is going to become the 5th tier 1 esport eventually. So, I think we definitely need to invest, because currently the 4 tier 1 esports are League of Legends, Dota, Hearthstone, or however you say that, and then CSGO. And we're in CSGO, and we have a decent team. We've had our ups and downs, yeah. But I definitely think it's important for us as an organization to grow into these other esports as well, because we do have one of the largest fan bases, and we do have a huge name to us, so I think that's definitely something important for the future.
Yeah, like because the Overwatch League, like how I understand it, like it goes by cities for like their teams, and if there's not one in Dallas, that's a great opportunity. And Overwatch is also going to be that stepping stone, because all of our esports are first-person shooters, or shooters at least, and
What about England as a city?
yeah, I don't think
England is my city. Sorry, continue. I had to throw that in there when you said cities.
so. No, but Overwatch would be that it's still a shooter, but it's very MOBA-esque, more MOBA-esque than like the Specialists or Rigs in Call of Duty. It's very MOBA-esque, and that's like a stepping stone into other MOBAs. And like I'm not sure. I was gonna say before this move, I was gonna say OpTic might not be the best time for a League of Legends teams, because a lot of people were like, no, we need this to like get our gears going again, and other people were like, no, we need to step back, redefine who we are, and then be able to work towards that. But like this is like one of our last chances to get a League of Legends team if we really want one. And it would be huge, because now with all this stuff going on, who knows, maybe they do have something behind the scenes. So like Overwatch could be that stepping stone, because now they'll be in Dallas, and then we could get like a League of Legends team, since that's like that deadline is coming up. Like they may have already submitted an application, we don't know. Like that's huge. That's really, really big news. That's absolutely huge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I wasn't even planning to talk about that. That was crazy that as soon as we started recording, all this stuff happened.
Yeah,
So Ben, you didn't find any.
that's insane.
Ben, you didn't find anything other news on it. That's all we have so far.
Let me just bring up this other company. It's Rogers and no, it's the Dallas Chamber. That's it. Wikipedia. I know it's Wikipedia, but oh well. The Dallas Texas Rangers Baseball Club is so the former executive vice president and marketing for the Dallas Texas Rangers Baseball Club is like on this Dallas Chamber board. So, and we're apparently working close with them. It's not only that, but the National Geographic Society and a few other people basically. So yeah, so we're working with a load of companies in this Dallas chamber. So, we could be about to shoot up to the stars, boys.
That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
That
With
that is.
we're gonna
huge.
join Astralis to the stars, boys.
That's you almost had. No, but like I'm really excited about that. That's absolutely crazy.
Cheers,
I'm-
Alex. Thank you.
I'm sure next vision they'll talk about it. So next week we'll be talking about this on here too when we get more.
Next week, light bulb, one daily for Europe.
Oh, that's right.
The 1st of August.
Oh, right, okay.
So we'll have to record on Monday, or
I'm away Monday.
we will have to record.
Today? Trying to do another?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure
Don't
it
worry.
out.
Just don't worry. We'll figure it out.
I'll take my mix amp, and if I have
Alright.
to, we'll just do iPad. No.
Yeah, and I can
Yeah, but
take some
we'll
stuff
figure
to
that out.
Europe and probably figure something out there. All right.
Sweet.
But yeah, anything else?
Oh shit. Wait, we might have been just invited to New York. No, Astralis. Fuck.
Psych.
Yeah.
Alright, we were on a good roll with like live news, Ben. Okay. So.
No, wait. Right. I'm thinking because Astralis got invited, we'll get invited, and then we'll get put up against.
All right. So yeah, let's just not get invited.
yeah.
Honestly, let's
Confirmed.
just not.
Confirmed.
I'd rather not.
All right. All right. So is that going to do it for this episode?
Boys.
I kind of lost track because I don't have anything written down on what we were talking about. But I think that's it
Yeah,
for
I
this
think so.
episode.
Yeah.
That was a lot more than I thought we were going to do.
That was good stuff.
That was surprising.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time on that topic, guys. Well, it's just gonna be crazy next time. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, all that to stay up to date. Because next week we're gonna have more information on this. But until next time on that topic, guys. We'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Peace.